everybody, Merry Christmas. We are gonna have just like a short little chat today because, you know, it's Christmas.
It is Christmas.
Well, it's not actually Christmas.
It's the week of Christmas.
The week of Christmas. We will be taking a break next week, just, you know, for the holidays. Mm-hmm. Just for fun, really.
Spending time with family off camera.
Yeah, but we are here to talk about doubling down, because that's what Levi talked about.
And one thing to double down on, always, Christmas cookies.
If you haven't made any yet this year, it's not too late. Or you can just go to the store and buy some decorating supplies or just Christmas cookies in general.
Either or.
But I thought it would be interesting to talk about whether you have a tendency to double down or not.
I
like
think
when you're pushed to the limit.
I certainly do. I definitely had a tendency as a kid, as Levi explained in his sermon, to walk myself into a corner and think that I can always talk my way out, free of any sort of blemishes. And it just never worked out that way. And it took a long time for me to learn that doubling down is not the way to go.
Do you feel like you do it in adulthood?
I think I'm getting better at being less defensive. I think defensive is the more adult explanation that I would give to doubling down. And I'd say certainly yes, but working on it.
I think I had the opposite experience of you. As a child, I did not double down. I was too much of a goody-goody, and I did not like to do things wrong. Like I would I think I told this story in my common thread, which is our storytelling event that we do twice a year here, about how I was in math class and I thought that I cheated by looking up at the board during a quiz where there was a formula that we needed for the quiz, and it ate me alive. So you can just extrapolate that to all other experiences. I was not the kid that lied about my siblings. I was not the kid that did things I wasn't supposed to do. I would immediately confess because I would literally, I just had a very strong moral compass.
Yeah.
And I would say I still feel that as an adult or as a teenager, but I had some seasons of my life where doubling down or being defensive was a part of my reality. And I think the time where it's hardest for me is when I know the right way to do things. Whether it be spiritually, morally, or even just efficiency. I'm very efficiency minded, and so I will double down in those situations, which I guess that's about being right is really the gist of it. But it doesn't really bother me if you want to tell me that the sky is blue or the sky is green and I know that it's blue. I don't really care. I'm not going to double down on that. I'm just going to let that be. But it's if you're going to tell me that this is the fastest way to go to Costco, you park in the very back of the parking lot and then you walk in very slowly and then you go very, I'm gonna be no, that's not the fastest way. You find the parking lot and the spot in this side of the parking lot, yada, 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 yada.
So you have your hills that you'll die on.
Yes, exactly. But I would say they're not traditionally the hills that most people would die on. I don't really care if I'm wrong. It doesn't really bother me that much. And if I'm found out to be wrong, then I'll say, oh, I was wrong, because I want to do whatever the most efficient or the most right thing to do is, because that's what grounds me.
Yeah, well, accepting criticism is a very real skill that can be learned no matter how poor you are at it.
Yes, and I say that I'm also not that great at accepting criticism. It takes me a little bit. I eventually come around to it, but Willie's really great at it, so.
The real skill, though, is accepting compliments. I think that's even more difficult.
I think it just depends on who you are. Some people love words of affirmation, and so compliments is really great for them.
True.
This has really nothing to do with Christmas, and really not that much to do with Levi's sermon, but that's really all we have.
That's what we've got for you this week.
Yeah, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas. You spend some time, whether virtually or in person, with people that you love, and that you remember that Jesus came and was born. God became flesh and was born to save us from our sins, and that is the most exciting reason to celebrate. And so we hope that you are celebrating this Christmas season and you're sharing that celebration with others. And we'd love for you to join us for our Christmas Eve service. It's going to be this Saturday. We have one at 4:30, one at 6, and the one that will be live streaming is...
At 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. All right. We'll catch you next time in 2023.
Cheers.